Hey guys, Prowl1701 here. Today I'm going to be re-reviewing the War Games in color. I did watch this recently, which does have an extra 6 minutes of footage. Basically the scene with the Doctor uses the sonic screwdriver has been added in. It wasn't on the transmission broadcast version. And I like that scene. It's nice. It's nice to see Troughton using the sonic in color. It's kind of cool. And I enjoy that scene well enough. It gives the German general a little more screen time too. First off, the colorization of this is really good, especially the recently found footage, that 3 minutes of recently found footage. That's location work from episode 1 and beginning of episode 2. Looks spot on. There are times in this, especially those scenes, where if you didn't know this was done in black and white originally, you wouldn't know. It matches like perfectly. There are other scenes in the location work where it's not the original film footage where you can tell it's been colored, but it still looks really good. It's a step up from the Daleks in color. Studio scenes vary. They all look good, but there are times where the flesh tones look a little off, like you can almost see black and white around the edges, the hairlines, like it's kind of underneath trying to break free. Kind of the criticism I give Mind of Evil, though this does it better than Mind of Evil, which isn't really very fair when you think about it, since Mind of Evil is supposed to be in color. But there is like 14 years worth of technology difference between the releases, or 13 years or something like that. But there are occasions where the flesh tone, especially in the later episodes, looks like you could tell it was something that was colored later. Still looks good. Some of the color choices don't always work. The purple light with the Time Lords when the Doctor's on trial. I didn't really care for the purple light, but I don't really know what kind of light would have been good to use there either. I like the Warlord's glasses being tinted. I wish they had done that with the security not the war chief, but the head security guy, the one that talks really weird with the glasses. I could have sworn in the trailer his were like tinted blue slightly. I kind of wish they'd kept that. I don't know why. I just do. But I like the colors, like when they use their laser guns or force fields are used. That's pretty neat. So the colorization looks really good for the most part. Sometimes indistinguishable from being filmed in color, honestly. The surviving location work that was recovered looks really good. I've also watched the black and white version of it that was included as a bonus. It looks really sharp. And I wish more of it survived. It's a miracle we got that 3 minutes, but I wish more of it survived. The edit is fine. You can tell it's rushed. Definitely changes the pacing of the story. And cuts out a lot of the B-plots. Still very enjoyable. If I didn't know that this was edited down, like say I didn't know a lot about classic Doctor Who and I was just watching this for the first time without the knowledge of it being so edited, I would be a bit confused because so much is going on and our people they were here and then like a second later they're here, you know, and Jamie was captured, then he escaped, then he was captured, all within like a minute or something like that. It would definitely leave me scratching my head. And it moves like that. It moves like a modern Doctor Who story or like a feature-length modern Doctor Who story. It's moving at a clip. Because a lot of the middle episodes are heavily edited. You do have a lot of the final episode, of course, and a good bit of the first episode, and then the other episodes vary, especially parts of the middle where, you know, they intercut scenes, which works. But there's a lot that gets lost in there, and it does move at this frantic pace where I feel like someone coming to the War Games for the first time, it might be a lot for them to keep up with. It doesn't really bother me. I treat it as an alternate viewing experience, much like watching a classic story with the optional updated effects. My biggest thing about the War Games in color, which I mentioned in another recent video, is it's not intended to be a replacement for the original. The original's still there. Matter of fact, the home releases in the UK of the Daleks in color and the War Games in color, the original comes with it, so you can watch the original. So it's not intended to replace the original. The original's still there. It's just an alternate means of watching a story, just like when you buy the collection box sets, you can either watch the story with the original effects or story with updated effects for the stories that offer updated effects. Some of the ones got optional updated effects on the DVDs. Those are carried over to the Blu-rays. Some of them, it's exclusive to Blu-rays, but they always keep the original versions on there as well. So because of that, I don't mind it. It's not like Star Wars, where I'm still pissed off that in 2025, I can't get a theatrical version in high definition officially. If anyone ever wants to send me some of the despecialized edition, because I don't know how to do all that kind of stuff, feel free. I'd love to own the theatrical cuts in Blu-ray. But, you know, the fact that Star Wars is very, okay, we've made some changes to our new version, and that's the new definitive version, and I'm like, no. I don't own any Star Wars movies anymore. I sold my original trilogy. I sold my prequel trilogy. I'm just the sequel trilogy kind of ruined Star Wars to me for the most part. Still playing through KOTOR 2 again, though. That's a good game, and KOTOR 1. And my goodness, why haven't I gotten a re-release for Rogue Squadron? But I enjoyed this version of it. It still moved nice. I enjoyed some of the updated special effects. I thought they blended, for the most part, well. Anytime it shows the little bad guy base, looks a little odd and clunky to me. Whether it's CGI, whether it's model work, or CGI to me, I don't care for it. The music is hit or miss. There are times where the music's really nice. I actually don't mind them using the master theme. I'm not a big fan of the War Chief being the master. But I thought it was a nice nod and the wink to the fan theory. I think they played the Sims master theme too many times. I think if they'd only played it like maybe twice, it would have worked. Like that scene when him and the Doctor recognize each other. That's the perfect place for it, and I like it there. It fits. And maybe one other time I would have been fine with it, but I feel like they play it too many times. I like that they snuck the Delgado theme in there too at one point when him and the Doctor are talking. I do like the fact they put the Delgado theme. I'm glad they snuck it in. And then the sound effect of when the War Chief's body's being carried away, you can kind of hear the sound effect of regeneration energy starting. I liked that. It was a nice little touch. Whether you think of the War Chief as the master or not, I don't, but I think it's a fun nod and a wink. I like the idea that possibly the War Chief did survive and regenerate and maybe shows up later. That would be cool. Other than that, I think a lot of the music worked well. The music that played when the Doctor was saying goodbye to Jamie and Zoe, I liked it. I liked the music there. There were plenty of places where, because I was very aware of the fact this is new music, I'm like, it's working. It's working pretty well. It doesn't always. It gets a little action heavy, something you expect more from the modern show sometimes, like when they're trying to get away from the Time Lords toward the end, what would normally be the beginning of episode 10. But it works. I think there was only maybe a couple points where the music was putting me off. I think I was actively either liking it or fine with it. So I think it worked a lot better than the music from the Daleks in color, which I didn't flat out hate most of the time either. I definitely think this is a stronger production than the Daleks in color, which I like the Daleks in color, but I think this one works a little better. I think they'd improved. Now, I still prefer the original version of the War Games, but I think this is a nice, fun way to watch it. The colorization looks good. I don't mind the edit. And even though it's a lot shorter, I still watched it over two different days. Like, I got a little over an hour into it the first day and then finished it up earlier today. And it works. I like having alternate ways to watch Doctor Who stories. As I mentioned in that other recent video, you know, when I get an animation, I can watch it in color. I can watch it in black and white. I can watch it in telesnap recons with surviving episodes. I can watch the animations with the surviving episodes. I like having options. I like having different ways to enjoy a story. So the War Games in color. I enjoyed my rewatch of it. I think it's a nice way to experience the War Games. I think the original way is the better way, but I still think this is a nice, fun, alternate way. I want to know what you think. Comment down below and let's talk about it. Don't forget to click the like button, the subscribe button as well. I also have a Patreon if you would like to support me on that. I want to give a shout out to some of my top tier patrons, Androzani Major, Colin Coney, Sam Venning, Finn Perkins, and Unknown289. I appreciate their support, as I do the support of all of my patrons. Most importantly, thank you for watching.